Recording is on.
Okay, students. So before starting the topic, I would like to show you some images. Okay, so that it could be little bit clear about the topic what I'm going to teach. Suppose this comes under your rigid pavement again. Okay, the topic was your tie bar, design of tie bar in the rigid pavement. Right now, it is a reinforcement bar. It is a steel bar. So what do you mean by now design means what? Design means we have to find its length. Okay, what will be the length of the tie bar used? What will be the number, or rather we can say what is the spacing between the each bar? Okay, what should be the spacing between each bar, and what is its area? Okay, these are the thing that we require, that is required for design purpose. That means area means the diameter of the bar you will use. Okay, the length of the tie bar you will use, and the spacing of the tie bar, that is the distance from one tie bar to the another tie bar. This is the main purpose motive of your design. Now, what is tie bar? Where we use this tie bar? Okay, what is the purpose of this tie bar? Before that, I will show you some image. See, this is the rigid pavement, right? This is one lane, this is second lane. Two lane pavement is there. This is a two lane roadway. Okay, two lane means this one lane will be of length how much? 3.5 meter, right? One length will be of 3.5 meter width. Okay, from here to here. This is the width of one lane, and this is another lane. Now see, traffic will move in which direction? It will move like this, either this way or like this. Okay, in this manner. Now, along the traffic direction, I said this is the traffic direction. So, parallel to the traffic direction, what is this joint? This is longitudinal joint. Okay, and perpendicular to this traffic, what are these joints? These are your transverse joints. Clear till now? Now, see, since there is a gap between this joint, okay, this is what? This is a discontinuous structure. So there will be obviously some gaps will be there, which will be filled by the filler material. In expansion joint, I said it will be filled by the gap will be throughout its depth, and it will be filled by some filler material. Okay, that means what? That filler material strength and concrete slab strength will be different. So when a vehicle pass from this joint, okay, transverse joint, what happens? These joints are weak in structure, as these are discontinuous. Okay, these joints gaps are not filled with the concrete, they are filled with the filler material, which are much weaker concrete strength. So what happens if the wheel just crosses this joint? Then what happens? There may be some deflection. Okay, there may be some deflection of this slab. Suppose this is first slab, this is second slab. So there will be deflection of this slab at this point. Okay, so in order to reduce those deflection, some reinforcement are provided along this transverse joint. Okay, at certain spacing we are providing some reinforcement at the joint, not throughout the slab, only at the joint. Okay, some of the half of the portion will be in this slab and half of the portion will be on that slab. Okay, these bars are known as dowel bar. Please keep it in mind, the bars which are used in the transverse joint is called dowel bar. Okay, similarly in the longitudinal joint there are gaps, so these are also weak in structure. Okay, so if there will be traffic keep on moving, right? Traffic is keep on moving over that slab, then what happens? And again there the slab will look like this. We have to give some elevation. Like, what is this elevation known as? You have already gone through it in your geometric design chapter. What is this elevation? This is your cross section of, if we see the, if we cut the pavement and if we see it from the cross section, it will look like this, right? Since the top slab, top surface of the rigid pavement is made up of slab, so it will look like this. Now, what is this cross sectional slope is called? It was in your geometric design. We provide this cross sectional slope in order to, for drainage purpose. If rainfall falls, then it will drain along this slope. Okay, what is this called? What is the name of this cross sectional slope in your geometric design? First element of your cross sectional slope. Hmm? Anyone? Pritha, Simon? What we call this one? Camber. There was a term, right? Camber. CAMBER in the geometric design. That is the cross slope which we provide for drainage purpose. Okay, so that if rainfall falls, then they will not deposit here. They will rather flow along this slope to the drainage canal. Okay, so that no water will penetrate into the subsequent lower layers. So what happens if traffic keep on moving over this slab? Okay, if traffic is keep on moving over this slab, then what happens? This slab and this slab may get separated, right? It may get separated. So in order to prevent that separation, what we have to do? We have to tie these slabs together. This joint is the longitudinal joint. Okay, this slab is this one I am seeing from this direction, and this slab is this one I am seeing from this cross sectional direction. So this gap or this joint you are seeing is this one. Okay, this is your longitudinal joint. So if traffic keeps on moving, then what happens? That slab has a tendency to move apart from each other. So in order to keep these slabs together, we need to tie them together. Okay, and the reinforcement which is used for, and the bars which are used for tying the slab together and which are placed in the longitudinal joints are known as the tie bar. Clear? Hmm?
हाँ मैम.
So those bars are called tie bar. Why tie? Because they're tying the two adjacent slab together. Okay, that's why its name is tie bar. Now see where these joints are placed. As I said, this is your slab. This way traffic will move. This is your longitudinal joint. See here, this is the tie bar. This is the longitudinal joint. It will be placed somewhere at this depth. These are the slab I said. Okay. So in order to join these two slab together, we are using this bar. Clear? And if we cut that slab, one of the slab, okay, then how it looks? It looks like this. See, these are the dowel bars which will be placed in the transverse joints. Here you can see one joint. See, it's coming like this. Okay, one slab ends, another slab starts. This is one slab, this is another slab. So same here, one slab will end here and another slab will start from there. So this will be your, what will be your, this will be your transverse joint. See, traffic is coming from this direction. See there, at a distance one vehicle is coming. Okay, since traffic is coming from this direction, so this joint is what? This is perpendicular to the direction of the traffic, and that joint is called transverse joint. See here, we are placing the reinforcement here, and the bars which are on the transverse joint are the dowel bar. So these are dowel bar. Whereas this is what? See here, one slab ends, another slab will start. We have to cast it, then another slab will be provided here. So, and this is your direction of the traffic. Now this joint is the parallel to the direction of the traffic. This joint is parallel to the direction of the traffic. That means this one is one slab, and that is the adjacent slab, side lane, first lane, second lane, third lane. Okay, so second lane is this one. That means this joint is the longitudinal joint. And see here, you can see some reinforcement coming out from here. These are your tie bars, because tie bars are placed in the longitudinal joint. Can you see? See, these are the dowel bars, okay? Whereas these are your tie bars. See, here you can see, since this is, see here, one transverse joint ends. So another transverse joint will start from here, whereas this is your longitudinal joint, okay? So I said along the longitudinal joint, some reinforcement will be provided like this. Half of the reinforcement is inside this slab, half will be in this slab, okay? So these reinforcements are the, these are the tie bars, okay? This one, clear? So if question
ma'am.
comes, then tie bars are placed in which joint? It will be placed in longitudinal joint. First question, okay? Again, another question will be that tie bars are placed in which direction? First question is in which joint they are placed, and another is in which direction. See here, this direction is perpendicular to the traffic, is coming from this direction, right? Whereas our alignment is in direction. So this is what? Perpendicular. So tie bars are placed perpendicular to the direction of the traffic. Like this they will give you in MCQs. Or they will ask tie bars are placed in transverse joint, longitudinal joint, or which joint? Then your answer is they are placed in longitudinal joint. But they are aligned in direction perpendicular to the traffic. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, we have to design this length only. What will be the length? Half of the portion is inside that slab. Okay. So what will be the total length? Okay. What will be your circle, I mean diameter of this reinforcement? Okay. And what will be the spacing? Spacing means, see, this distance. They are kept at certain fixed distance, right? This distance are same. Will be that distance. That is the spacing of the bars. So see, it looks like this also. Okay. Okay. So let us go to the topic. Now, tie bars may be of two types. What is deformed steel bar or deformed epoxy coated? Epoxy coated means in order to keep it corrosion free. Okay. We have to keep that tie bar or reinforcement bar. It should be corrosion free. So we will coat that what is the surface of the steel bar with the epoxy coat. Okay, that's why it is called epoxy coated steel. Now what is the function? As I said, hold the two slabs together. Okay, but they are not acting as a load transfer. It must keep it in mind. You must keep it in mind that only dowel bars which are placed in the transverse joint are the load transferring bars, whereas these steel bars are only for keeping the two slabs together. They are not for transferring the load. Okay, see, this is the top view of a pavement. Traffic will move in this direction. Traffic will move in this direction. You are seeing it from the top. Okay, so this is a longitudinal joint, and this will, the transverse joint will be perpendicular to this. Okay, so see here, this is top view. Now I will cut a section and I will see from the cross sectional view. It will look like this. Okay, so the tie bars are placed somewhere here at certain depth. Okay, like this they are. See, this from top, it will look like this. Okay, now remember that for design purpose, whenever we will calculate the number of bars, okay, we will take span as 1 meter. We will take the length of slab as only 1 meter. If we get number of slabs per meter, then we can easily get total number of if we get number of bars per meter of the slab, then we can get the total number of bars for this whole slab length. Okay, so while designing, we will consider L, or the length of the slab, as only 1 meter. Okay, now see where they are placed. As I said, they are placed in the longitudinal joint at middle depth, at the mid portion of the slab. Okay, on the soldier also, and on the edge joint. Edge means edge. Okay, now for design purpose, this is the main concept, how we will design the tie bar. Okay, what happens here? This is the slab, right? This is your axle load. Okay, now due to continuous movement of the wheel load or the axle load, this vehicle is moving perpendicular to the page. Okay, perpendicular to the screen. It is going inside the screen. Think like that. So this is your cross sectional view. Now because of that continuous repetitive movement of the vehicles, what happens? This slab has a tendency to go this side, right? They have a tendency to get separated from to this direction and to this direction. So because of this, what happens? Some tensile force is generated in this steel, right? Some friction will also be generated here. Okay, so we must equate this. We must for equilibrium condition, what we must do? We must keep these both equal. Okay, that means frictional force must be equal to the tensile force generated in the steel, that is in the tie bar. That is the main funda. That's it is given here also. See, the maximum tensile force in the tie bar must be kept equal to frictional force between the bottom of the slab and the base course. That means this one, bottom of the slab and the base course, there will be one friction and there will be some tensile generated within the steel. Okay, so we have to keep this to equal. I will use that equation later on while designing. Okay, now what are the specifications? Now, as we said, we are designing what? We are designing the length, we are designing the diameter, and we are designing the spacing. So before any kind of design, what we do? We generally assume the values, right? We will assume that, okay, we will take this much steel bars. Okay, I will take this much breadth of the beam, this much depth of the beam. Okay, and we do calculation. After calculation, we will do checking, right? Whether our condition is satisfying the or not. Like that also, here also, first we have to assume some data. Okay, we have to assume that diameter uh, will be within this range, 12 mm to 16 mm. You have to take any value of diameter of steel bar within this range. Okay, rather you can take it in 13 or 14, yeah, 12 or 16, any, but it should be within this range. Okay, next is minimum length. Okay, the minimum length should lies between 64 to 80 centimeter, not greater than this. Okay, should be between 64 to 80 centimeter, and the maximum spacing is 60 to 100 centimeter. Okay, while designing, we must consider this spacing and all. Okay, whether all these are satisfied or not. Okay, now see how we will design. As I already said, for designing, we will take the slab length as 1 meter per meter. We will design for per meter of slab. Okay, and this is the breadth of the slab, that is the lane width of the slab, whether it is 3.5 or they will provide it. This is the breadth of the slab, and as I said, direction of the traffic will be in this direction. So this is your longitudinal joint. This will be your longitudinal joint, and the reinforcement which are placed in the longitudinal joint are known as tie bar. So this is your tie bar. Okay, and the spacings are given as S. Now if I take this into here, I will enlarge the size, so it looks like this. As I said, diameter should be between 12 to 16, length should be between 64 to 80, and spacing should be between 60 to 100. These are the specification. Okay, we must have all these ideas so that we can check whether our design has come up to this within this range or not. The design parameter that we have calculated is within this range or not. Okay. Now, as I said, they are placed in the longitudinal joint to keep the slabs together to prevent the separation of the lens. Okay, and also there may be some difference. See, this is the slab without your tie bar. There is no tie bar in this joint. So what happens? Due to this load, this slab will be deformed or deflected. It will be little bit under. Okay, this slab, whereas this is in its own place. So what happens? Because of this, there may be differential deflection within the between the two slab. That means this height is different from this height. Okay, so it must not occur like this. Otherwise, the pavement will fail soon. So what happens? In order to keep this in same position also, we use tie bar. We use tie bar for preventing this differential deflection and to keep the two slabs together. These are the two motive of, yeah, we can say two functions of the tie bar, main functions. Okay, no differential deflection and no and to keep the slabs firmly together. Clear till now? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as I said, we are using this formula. See, this formula, right? Maximum tensile force in the tie bar must be equal to frictional force on the pavement. Okay. Suppose now what is the definition of the force? Definition of the force, we can say that stress into area, right? P, force is equals to stress into area. Can we say that? Can we use that formula? Yes. So it's tensile force. That means here should be what stress? Which stress? Tensile stress in the steel. See, tensile force is equals to tensile stress in the steel into area of the steel. Okay. So this is the formula. Now what is tensile stress? It's like similar like yesterday's class only. Okay. Now will be generated in this direction in the tie bars. Tensile means what? They will act away from the center, right? Tensile means they will act away outward in outward direction here and here, right? So they will act outward direction. So these are your tensile stress in each bar. Okay. Now what is the capital AS? Suppose there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reinforcement, 5 tie bars are there. Okay. So what will be the cross sectional area of each bar? Suppose that is your small as equals to how much? Pi by 4 d square, right? If we know this single area, all are similar type of bars, that is they have same diameter, so obviously the others area will also be right. So what happens? The total area will be what? If we know this single area and if we know the number, just multiply that into small as.
A shown 2.
So capital AS will be equals to N into AS, right? So total area is what? Total area of all the bars that is present within 1 meter of span. Okay, this is the span for this tie bar, 1 meter span. Okay, so AS is the diameter area of single bar and number is how many numbers are there in a 1 meter span of slab. That will give you, multiply this, we will get total area of steel and multiply this total area into SS, that is the tensile stress in steel. We will get the tensile force. Okay. Now what is frictional force? Frictional force is the F, coefficient of friction, into normal weight of the slab. Now, what is the normal weight of the slab? Equals to its self weight. The self weight is equals to, what is the formula of self weight of the slab? Hmm?
Ma'am, gamma C into its volume.
Volume. Volume into gamma C. That is the unit weight of concrete. Now, volume is how much? Length into breadth into height, right? Length is what? 1 meter. Breadth is b meter. Height is h centimeter. Okay. And gamma C, as I said, it will be, unit will be 24 kg per meter cube. Okay. So length is in meter, b is in meter. So we have to convert this also in meter. So it is divided by 100. So this is your frictional force. So equate these two, we will get the capital S. Clear? We got the capital A's formula. Okay. Now using this AS, as I know that capital AS is equals to N into small as. Okay. So if we know the diameter, if we know the capital S, can we know the small n value? That is a number. So N will be equals to what? A capital total area by individual area, right? We got this as from this equation. Okay, we got this small as is equals to pi by 4 d square, diameter of bar. Okay, so if we divide these two, we will get number. Okay, and there is one more formula for the number. What is that? Number is number equals to, what is the value?
স্পেসিং বাই হচ্ছে
Span by spacing.
স্প্যান বাই
uh,
স্পেসিং
Span by spacing. Okay, span, I said we are considering 1 meter length slab. So span is your 1 meter. Okay, clear? Now number is equals to what? As I said, we can get it from as by small as, right? So s will be how much? That is as by small as is equals to, span is how much? Span by spacing. Sorry. Okay, we know the span equals to 1 meter. We got this value from the first equation. We also get this value if we know the diameter, then we can get s. Okay, so after simplification we are getting s as this one. Okay, if you want to keep it in meter, here it will be in meter only. If you want to keep this in centimeter, here we have to convert that into 100. So for this equation, in this equation, spacing is in centimeter. Okay, clear?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম
Huh, ma'am.
First as, calculate small as, we will get number, and use the formula of span by spacing, we will get spacing using this formula. Okay, now, so we got what? We got your number also. We got spacing. That means we can easily get uh, at what distance apart the tie bars has to be placed. Okay, then we got the area of steel, total area of steel required. The last parameter that is left to design is your length of the tie bar. Now for this, there is one more concept. Okay, see, this is that concept. What is the concept? They are saying that the bond strength. What is bond? Bond means the grip between the concrete and the uh, tie bar. Okay,
এই দেখ চার্জ হচ্ছে না দেখেছো এটা
the grip between
কি হলো কত
Hmm.
পার্সেন্টে
এই
39 এর পরেই আটকে যাচ্ছে
see, now bond strength means what? It is the grip between the tie bar and the concrete, surrounding concrete. Okay, what is the bond strength? That is the bond strength. So the bond strength on periphery of each tie bar up to the embedded length on each side of the concrete slab must be greater than tensile force developed in the tie bar. Now what does it mean? That means, see here, see this portion. See, suppose I have taken one slab, okay, cross section of the slab. This is the tie bar, this is the first lane, this is the adjacent lane. Okay, now see, I remove this one, this slab I removed. So it will look like this as I shown in previous picture. Okay, I've shown you some tie bars are outside and some tie bars are inside. It looks like this from the cross section view. Okay, this portion is within the slab, this portion is within the slab. Now see here, tensile force, where it will act, it will act away from the center. Okay, it will act outwards. Like suppose that tensile stress is SS. Okay, they are saying that the tensile force generated due to this tensile stress. Now what is tensile force? SS into AS, we can say that SS into this area. Okay, so tensile force is equals to how much? S into AS, right? So this is your tensile force. They are saying that this tensile force must be lesser than the bond strength. That is, this tensile force must be lesser than the grip. Obviously, if this tensile force is greater, then what happens? This tie bar will come out, right? If there is no grip between the concrete and the tie bar, that grip is lesser than this tensile force, outward tensile force, then what happens? That tie bar will come out of this one, right? Come out of the slab. So it should not happen. This bond should be always greater than the tensile force. Okay. Now we from here we got the value of tensile force. How we will calculate? That is tensile stress into AS, area of single tie bar. Okay, this area, cross section area. Now then, what is the bond stress? The bond stress, where it is acting? It is acting over the circumference of the tie bar, right? That is acting on the circumferential surface of the tie bar. Now what do you mean by circumferential surface? How we will calculate that area? Bond strength is again equals to what? Stress into area. This is also force. Bond stress is strength is also a force, so that force is equals to stress into area. Now here bond strength we are calculating, so bond strength is equals to bond stress into where that bonding is acting. Okay, now where that bonding is acting, this is acting around this surface, around the outer surface area of the tie bar, which is embedded inside the slab. Now only this portion of the area is embedded inside the slab for this condition. Okay, only this portion of the area is embedded. Now can we find this area? Anyone explain how can we find that circumferential area? If we know the diameter, okay, suppose this is your cylinder. Okay, I'm telling that what is the outer surface area of this cylinder, then how we will calculate? If we know this parameter and if we multiply this length, can we get that area? If I know the perimeter of this circle, that is 2 pi r. Okay, and if we know this length, if we multiply, we will get that circumferential area, right? Outer surface area. Similarly, we can get that area here also. How? We know this diameter, so obviously we know the radius and we will know this parameter. That parameter is how much? This is 2 pi r, and the length is your, this is half of the portion is inside this slab, so this length will be only length of the total length of the tie bar by 2, that is L suffix T by 2. Total length is how much? Total length is your LT. Total length of the tie bar is LT. So only half of this is in this slab, inside this slab. So I'm considering for this area. So this area will be how much? Circumferential area, the perimeter into this length. Now circumferential perimeter is 2 pi r or pi d into L, sorry, L by 2. This is the total length is LT. So half of the portion is inside this, embedded inside the slab is LT by 2. So here we will get that area. See, pi d into LT by 2. Now we get the area. We know the bond stress. Just multiply, we will get the bond strength. So the bond strength of the tie bar is bond stress into peripheral area. Suppose that bond stress is S. S is for stress and B for bond. Okay. And this is your peripheral area. From here we will get that area. This area is here. We are putting here. Okay. And the tensile force, as I already said, this is SS, this SS into area of the steel, cross sectional area. So since this putting on the cross section, so we have to define this cross section. That's why pi d square by 4. Now equate these two. It should be either equal or this portion, this bond stress should be greater than, equals to tensile force. Okay, otherwise what happens? If this is bond strength is weak, then due to this force, tensile force, it will come out of the slab. It should not happen. That's why we have to keep this bond strength always either equal or greater to tensile force. So after multiplying, we are getting these equations. See, we are getting d we cancel out, pi we cancel out. So LT we are getting, see, SSB, SS by SB into d by 2. So this equation is used for your calculating length of the tie bar. So three equation. One is for capital AS, another is for your and another is for your, and third one is for your length of the tie bar. So already, as I already described earlier, three parameters are required: length, dia, and your spacing. So all these we get. Okay. So what are the design steps? How you will proceed? How, if they give you one problem, then how you will proceed? Okay. First step is find total area of the steel using that first formula, where F is coefficient of friction, B is slab width in meter H in centimeter, gamma C kg per meter cube 2400, S is in kg per centimeter square, where this one is for your centimeter square, area of steel, total area of steel, centimeter square. Okay. Second step is find spacing. We have derived this formula also, 100 small as by capital S. If here it is 100, that means spacing is in centimeter. Okay. If we divide this small s by as, capital S, then we will get that s in meter, because your span was your 1 meter and we have converted it into 100 centimeter. That's why unit will be your centimeter. Okay. Now this one over. S we will get from here, capital S, and small s we know that for this dia is to be assumed, and assumed should be within 12 mm to 16 mm. Okay, diameter should be 12 mm to 16 mm. Now the length is given by this formula just now derived. So only three steps. Now after this one, there is last step. Apart from this, what is this? We have to increase this length. Okay. Suppose we get here, after calculating, we get 65 centimeter length. Okay. This length is in centimeter. Note it down. Don't keep it in meter. Okay. 65 meter is huge number. So if it is 65 centimeter, then to increase that length further with 15 centimeter. Okay. 10 centimeter is for 10 centimeter is for loss of bond due to painting, and another 5 centimeter for misalignment. That means it may not be perpendicular to the direction of traffic. It may be somewhere with slight angle. Okay. It may be greater than 90 degree also. So for that also we must increase the length of the slab. Okay. So total increment will be 15 centimeter. Clear? Please see these steps. These are the steps. First, calculate capital AS, then calculate small s, which is the spacing. Capital AS is in centimeter square. Okay. Then finally, length of the slab in centimeter. That whatever length we will get, we'll just add it 15 centimeter. If you get here 65, then add it with 15 centimeter, it will be 80 centimeter. Okay, clear? Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now please see this problem. Okay, we'll try to solve this problem. Now what is this problem? A cement concrete pavement has a thickness of 26 centimeter, right? So this is your h, small h, small h. Lane width of 3.5 meter. What is this? Lane width. This is your
বি হবে
yes, capital B. Okay. Design the tie bars along the longitudinal joint using the following data. Now, what are these data? Okay. See, allowable stress in steel tie bar. Acha. Before that, this, as I already said, that there are two types of the bar. It may be plain or it may be deformed, right? Plain tie bar, or it may be deformed epoxy coated bar. Okay, so for that there are two values of SS and SB. Please note it down. See, SS is what? It is the stress in steel, tensile stress in steel. Okay, so permissible tensile stress in steel. For plain bars, this will be mild steel bar, it will be 1250 kg per centimeter square. And from deform means what? Suppose this is the rod. Okay, the surface will have some grooves. Okay, you have already seen like that bar, right? So these are the deformed bars. These will have more gripping power, more strength also. It has more bond strength also, because these are there, right? So because of that groups, the gripping will be more good. And this mild steel is what? There is no gripping, it is simply plain bar, like this, plain, no surface will be smooth. Okay, so that's why see tensile stress is more in compared to this mild steel bar in deformed bar. Okay, and SB is there, as I said, bond strength. See, this is their bond strength, bond, bond. See, bond strength value. See here, SB for mild steel is 17.5 kg per centimeter, and for deformed bar is 24.6. Since it is deformed, that means there are grooves are there, so it will have more good bonding strength. Okay, that's why it is more, 24.6. So here in the question they have given two cases. See here, what is they have given? The allowable working stress, this means this is the tensile stress in steel tie bar. Okay, for deformed they have already provided. For deformed bar is how much? 200 kg per centimeter square. Okay, if they have not provided, then we have to assume that time. For deform it was 2000, and from plain it was 1250. Okay, now unit weight of concrete we already know, kg per meter cube, 2400 kg per meter cube. Maximum value of coefficient friction 1.2. If not provided, we have to assume these values. Okay, and the allowable bond stress in deformed bar, as I already said, it should be kept 24.6. This is the maximum value. Okay, now for all this data they are asking you to design the tie bar. That means we have to design diameter, we have to, that means area, spacing, and your what to say, length. Clear? So these are the data, please note it down. H equals to 26 centimeter. Write down H equals to 26 centimeter. Okay, capital B equals to 3.5 meter. Okay. SS, capital SS equals to 2000 kg per centimeter square. Okay, capital SS, S suffix S. Unit weight we know 2400 kg per meter cube. Friction we know 1.2. They have given. Otherwise, it is to be 1.5. So write down small f is equals to 1.2. Okay, an allowable bond stress, that is capital S suffix B. This is your SB. This is your F. This is your gamma C. This is your SS. Okay, this is your H, and this is your B. Done? Note it down.
Yes, ma'am. হয়ে গেছে।
Okay. Now go to the steps and try to solve.
ম্যাম এস টা হচ্ছে 1.31 সেমি স্কয়ার।
AS.
হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ। Everyone, please solve the problem. Okay, if you face problem, then ask me. These are the formulas.
ম্যাম এস টা 1.310।
AS is 1.31. That is 1.31 centimeter square. Okay. Acha. Now for this condition, assume diameter to be 12 mm. Okay, diameter it should lie between to 16 mm. So here diameter will be in centimeter. Note it down because we are calculating in area in centimeter. So
ম্যাম
diameter
তাহলে 12 অ্যাজিউম করব?
12 mm. Okay,
আচ্ছা,
that is 12 mm. So convert it into centimeter.
ওকে
So
ম্যাম।
assume
ম্যাম
D as
ম্যাম
1.2 centimeter.
ম্যাম তাহলে স্মল এস টা হচ্ছে 1.130 আসছে।
So small as will be 1.13 centimeter square.
আর ম্যাম
This will,
এস টা আসছে হচ্ছে
this will
86.259।
be 1.13. Okay, and S is your 86.
ম্যাম 86.259 0.259।
Okay, 86.259, right? So this is your small s in centimeter. Why? Because we are using here 100. We are converting 1 meter into centimeter. So SS is your S is your this much. Now SS is given, SB is given. Take this diameter in centimeter only.
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম ওটা আসছে 48.78 সেমি।
So your LT will come out to be 48.78.
48.78।
Okay, that is in centimeter because diameter you kept in centimeter. Now add 10 plus 5, that is total 15 centimeter more. 10 for your loss due to loss in bond due to painting, and 5 is for misalignment.
ম্যাম আসছে 63.78।
So approx 64.
ম্যাম এইটা বুঝলাম না ম্যাম, এলটিটা তো বার করলাম, তারপরে কি করব?
Then add with it 10 centimeter extra length. Okay, 10 centimeter we have to add here 10 centimeter for loss of bond due to painting, and 5 centimeter for misalignment. So total will be how much? 48.878 plus 10 plus 5. Your answer was 48.78 plus 10 plus 5 will give you approx 64 centimeter approx. Okay.
63.78 আসছে ওর
হ্যাঁ
64
হ্যাঁ
ধরা
হ্যাঁ approx 64. So what is your design?
ম্যাম এটা
Provide,
বুঝলাম না 48.7 প্লাস 10 প্লাস 5 এটা বুঝলাম না
see 10 centimeter we have length. Okay, this is our design length, but we are increasing this length for factor of safety. Why? 10 centimeter is for your loss of bond due to painting. Suppose there is some painting is there. Okay, some
Yes,
painting.
ma'am.
So what happens? There will be some loose in the bonding. It will there will be reduction in the bond stress, bond strength. So we have to increase, in order to increase the bond strength, that is increase the grip, we have to increase that tie bar length also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And another 5 centimeter is your tolerance for misalignment. That means our tie bar should be perpendicular to the direction of the traffic, but while placing it may not be perpendicular, it may be slightly more than 90 degree. So then also we have to increase this length. And
ম্যাম
that
বলছি এটা কি প্লেন টাই বারের জন্য হবে মানে এরকম 10
yes,
প্লাস 5
yes, yes, for every bar, for all
Okay.
kinds of bar. Okay, that time only your SS and SB will be different for the
আচ্ছা
plain bar, but procedure
Okay,
will be same.
ওকে ম্যাম
Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this, and what about others? Did they get the answer? Simon and all?
ইয়েস ম্যাম
Okay. So this much for today. If you have any doubt, then please ask.
ওকে ম্যাম
Okay, no doubt?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank
ম্যাম
you, ma'am.